So in Venice, we got $4 million that's kind of hanging between being paid off and what it's going to cost before this is all straightened out. And what went on there is really kind of hard to understand. Now, Drake is a resident of Venice,
Yes,
and
I
he's
am.
been following this. And I'm going to turn this over to you and let you explain a little bit more in detail as to what's going on, because I keep track of what goes on in the Warm Mineral Springs.
Okay, well, the main thing about Venice is that you had an extreme lawsuit, long and prolonged, about the sunshine law, where you don't use your personal computer for personal. You don't use your personal account to discuss city business without it being well known. Problem was that nobody kept any records of the emails. So consequently, somebody wanted to see these emails. Come to find out that there was some of these things available. Forensics man got onto the hard drives and looked them up, which is that's okay to an extent. Now, the problem being that you've got people in public office who have had this explained to them, and they're doing it anyway. Now, I don't know if they're just a little dim in terms of their wattage on their light bulb or what their problem is, but that didn't seem to be terrible, something that couldn't be gotten past. But recently, the mayor decided that he was going to do it again, and they couldn't make up their minds right at first as to whether or not it was a legal violation or not. Now, all of a sudden, he has to deal with the same kind of a problem, another problem with the Sunshine Law. You don't do that. And
You mean this has repeated itself again in
he
spite
did
of
it
the
on
fact?
purpose, and his answer to it was that his email was perfectly legal. Now, this is by the legal counsel of the city of Venice. Now, I don't know, whether that man can read well or what the problem is there, but apparently this is ongoing. And as you say, you've got 1.8 million that's been paid to the city attorney, or through the city attorney to his law firm that he works for, and then you've got another 2.2 million hanging fire for the litigants' lawyers. So
Isn't this lawyer the same one that's been the city lawyer for like 25 years or
Yes.
something like
Yes.
that?
He's been
so
there a
he's
while.
He's been milking.
well,
Well, no, we don't want to we
Yeah.
don't want to say that, right?
I don't
But,
really know, but the published reports are we've got 1.8 mil that he's already accrued, 800 grand in 2006, and about $1 million off of this recently. Then the litigants' legal bills run about 2.2 million, and $4 million or so for a small town ain't nothing to sniff at. Okay, then to go along with that, some of the other things that they've been playing with are also looking at litigation. So it just seems to be going on, and it's a definite concern. A lot of longtime residents. It's a beautiful town, beautiful people, with economic problems. I mean, you've got a few holes in the wall where there used to be stores that were going concerns that aren't there anymore. I can understand that to an extent, but these problems are something, I mean, especially when you do it once and then do it again just to see if you can get away with it, is a bit much, in my opinion.
So a lot of this bad publicity is actually being solicited on the part of our elected officials in order to bring this dirge down on us. Is this
I
kind
don't
of
know what their point
Well,
is.
anyway, let's not
Yeah.
dwell on that.
But
So-
yes, I'm inclined to agree
All
with
right.
that.
Well, anyway, moving right along here. So we got the problems in Venice, and then on August 3rd, we find out that the city of Northport has been visited by aliens. Now, I didn't know anything about this.
Did we get one?
Well, I don't know. According to this Northport Devil, which is on the emails, you can look this up on your computer. Type in Northport Devil in your Google search engine, and you'll have 6 or 8 entries that'll come up.
I mean, we could use one on the show, you know? I mean,
Well, it's the full. Now, here's this was on August 3rd. It's September 3rd.
okay.
And this Rowley gentleman, Michael Rowley, is the individual that was viewing this, him and his son. He said that they would be coming back here on the next full moon, which is now. And I stopped out the Sun Herald newspaper yesterday to find out if they were going to be covering it. And the Sun Herald paper, which gave this front page publicity in 2 different articles. Now remember, this is a tourist-oriented orientated area. We want to be drawing people in here to spend money, to relocate, to buy homes in order to stimulate the economy here. And
we
we're
got a
finding
guy-
out that
we get a guy howling at the moon saying, I'm seeing ETs
Right.
outside the window.
right outside the window. Northport Devil, check it on Google.
Oh boy.
Okay? I personally checked this out with MUFON. They kind of gave me the same reaction that Drake's given me. They kind of laughed and said, well, this guy, if he isn't on drugs, he should be. And they dropped it. They're not touching it anymore. And when I stopped at the paper yesterday, they said they're not going to be inquiring anymore either. But that's not the point. The point is, we don't need this. And like up in Venice, here we got one of the biggest newspapers. Well, there's only two newspapers here. There's
Right.
the Northport Sun and the Sarasota Herald Tribune. And when you have one of them that seems to thrive on putting out department store, grocery store, tabloid news in what is a legitimate paper that the people read and expect to get their local news from, it's doing a disservice not only to the owners of the newspaper, but to the advertisers, but mainly to the people in the community.
Exactly.
We asked to have an apology. Again, nobody wants to hear any of that. That's the end of the aliens. We don't know if they're going to be here over in the next couple of days. If they are, we'll put another show on it. But we have to keep moving along here because we only got so much tape, and consequently we want to get into whatever we need to get into here. The investigators of the thing, just to add one more thing, they said that this was apparently all perpetrated in order that this guy could hopefully sell his house. And if you remember, we got 11,000 houses here that are either under foreclosure or are in inventory. So maybe this guy should be given a medal or something because he at least came up with
Hey,
something
it's original.
original, a marketing tool. God bless. Who are we to judge?
Sell it to the city of Roswell.
Right. So here we are. Now, as I said, these problems go from Bradenton, which is just south of Tampa, all the way down to Fort Myers. And it seems that it's not only the politicians that are involved in it and the newspapers that are involved in it. It seems that the police are involved in it. And up in Bradenton, we had a situation that evolved in the video cameras that were taken of these pictures of the individual that was eventually arrested as being the perpetrator. They ignored the video evidence, went out, arrested the incorrect person, and now this is going to be winding up in a lawsuit. And this is right on the front page of the Herald Tribune. So we're making all these statements. We're showing you where this information is. It's available. Check it out on Google. We know what we're talking about. As I said, at the Church of the Muzzle Flash, we convey truth. So we have Jimmy Vickers in Bradenton falsely arrested. Then in Sarasota County, we have Sarasota the city, we have Peter Abbott, who is the police chief. He was suspended. Now, Christopher Childress was a Sarasota County police or Sarasota City police officer, and he found an inebriated, not an illegal alien. I don't think that's been determined. It was a gentleman that was of Spanish descent. He didn't speak English. Mr. Childress arrested him, was taking him to jail. When he got him to the police station, he took him out of the vehicle. He supposedly gave the officer a hard time. On the videotape, the police officer threw him on the ground, stepped on him, held him down, and this is, again, all a matter of public record. Now, where the city police chief, Peter Abbott, got into trouble is he, in collusion with the risk management individual in charge of the Sarasota police, or the Sarasota City, went and talked to the person that Mr. Childress accosted. They offered him $400 in order to be able to quell this indictment. Bribery, payoff, police chief, not good.